Well, hello, my beautifuls. I hope you are well. I hope everybody is well. I am so frustrated with true crime. I'm going to focus on the Idaho War right now. We're going to talk about Sebastian Rogers in a different video tonight at 9 o'clock. And tomorrow, I have something very different to show you. It's related to Micah Miller. And I painted. I painted her a picture, and I thought about everything she's been through in her life that we even know of. I mean, you and I both know that story is yet untold. But when it comes to the Idaho 4 case, I began to realize the state's case is crumbling, literally crumbling. It's become a giant mess, and it's a stagnant pond. And I thought about what really has triggered this giant mess is the PCA, that at this moment in time is a bunch of words on paper that has nothing backing it up. And I began to wonder, you know how many people retired? I mean, like from the Moscow PD, just literally retired. Didn't make it to their 40th, still the 39th year. 40 is a big deal. 40 years, you get mega pension. But they all quit. And they left the little guy, physically, the little guy, Payne, standing there like he's got the big cookie. But when the shit hits the fan, if we don't get something that substantiates what Brett Payne wrote, is he basically the backup ball guy? Did they just pick somebody that was overzealous for the case? A rookie that didn't know his ass from his ear? Still wet behind the ear? To take charge? Was he the snappy little bulldog that was like, I can do it, I'll make it this way? You know, what happened there? What really happened? And I wanted your opinion. Because from what I see, everybody has fallen out of the case other than Billy Boy and Payne. And that's it. Everybody else is like gone with the wind, doing something else. Biggest case in history for Moscow, by far. And they're all like, no, I don't want to touch that. I don't even want to be part of that. No, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go work. I'll go over here. I'll work security at the mall. Welcome to 1111 True Crime, everybody's favorite voice on the YouTube streets. I have an all-star panel today, and I want to welcome you all. And if you are watching this on replay, I want to give you a huge thank you because you matter. You matter a great deal. You feed the algorithm, and it helps. Hey, Wildfire, you say PSA, hit that like button on your way in, please, and thank you for all your support. If not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you, lovely. You guys are so good to me. Hi, MS. Welcome from Osceola. Oh, Osceola. I make up words sometimes. Osceola, Florida. Wow. I was born in Florida, actually. Hey, Lee McKenna. Hello, lovely. Wildfire's here. Jennifer Swain. We got Jenny Troglin. Tina Cassie. Hello, my lovely Luz. So I want to ask a prayer request real quickly before we get going. Jenny Troglin's boss and her, well, I'll just read her statement. She asked for prayers for my boss and her family as they are dealing with the death of a 49-year-old daughter-in-law. Last night, 3 kids lost their mama days before Mother's Day. So say a prayer for the boss's daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law, I believe is the word. Hey, Pin Dizzy and Shelly, I'm going to give up trying to talk soon. Sorry. Hey, Pub Giant. So, again, if you're on replay, you have the control up your buttons. If you need to fast forward, be my guest. Hey, Cynthia Caldwell. I want to talk a little bit about this state of illusion and what I feel we're really boiling down to. Number one, if they don't change the venue, I don't think we have to worry about poisoning the jury pool. I have a much bigger, more realistic fear that no matter if BK is innocent or guilty, the jury still has to live in that county. They're still under the thumb of the people in that community. And how protected are they after trial? You know, when they get pulled over for running a red light or stopping in the middle of an intersection or something, how protected will they be? Because basically, when you look at this case, it seems like it's being railroaded in one direction, pushed really hard for this monster that was an incel that is stalking these victims, yet there's no stalking. He's not an incel. So it's almost like, in my humble opinion, the prosecution used Brett Payne's PCA to run a smear campaign and then shut everybody else up with a gag order and just let the smear ride it out long enough that people will either get sick of trying to back BK or they'll just simply come over to the dark side, in my humble opinion. Pendizzi says Pavarotti dropped a good one, Mama D, from the PCA. They so contradicted himself about the sheath. I will check that out. I do have some comments I want to share today. They're public comments that people have left me, and I held on to them for a week or two. I felt like it was time to bring them out. I think that even though I have my own theory, it does not mean that's the way it went down. And many others have very exceptionally well thought out theories. And so what I'm going to bring you today is a theory. Let's just switch over here. Okay, let's get into the theory. Where is it? It's called the drug cartel theory. All right. Actually, I'm going to shrink it up like this. I'm just going to read it to you if I can do it. It's got to be big enough I can read it. And then we're going to just put that up for you. Did that work? Does that work? Yeah. All right, let's get it big enough for me to read. I'm looking to see if I can enlarge it. All right, I got it. Hello, Noble. Hello, hello. All right. Already. Let's go. So this is from a poster that shared their concept, their theory, and I do read all of your posts. Even if you just see me heart it, that just means I read it, okay? If you don't see a heart and you don't get a response, it got lost and I didn't see it. Here we go. First of all, this is their theory, okay? Everything here is speculation, just like I say, you know. First of all, they say, they had no DNA to arrest BK. He was literally illegally arrested. Prosecution is hiding this evidence. They went by the cars that night. Demetrius's brother had the same car as BK, so it was easy to get a car similar and call it Vehicle 1. Then, they knew Vehicle 2 was a big, dark SUV-type truck belonging to Demetrius. But they just could not find a similar vehicle, so they simply tossed the idea of the second vehicle. Now, Billy Bob, referring to Bill, right? Now, Billy Bob has himself in knots because BK's alibi I can't read today. Now, Billy Bob has himself in knots because BK's alibi clearly shows he was nowhere near Moscow. How can that be? Billy Bob and JJ have to disqualify his alibi in order for Green's and the university's narrative to hold. The cartel gives so much money to the university and to LE. They are beholden to them. Now, Caden's death was not in Moscow, but in Washington State, and ISP got involved. Emma and Demetrius were both arrested and released, but without prejudice, which means the case can be brought back up at any time. They sent Demetrius's case to homicide detectives with ISP for follow-up. Demetrius has a lengthy criminal past, and the murder of Caden on notice from the cartel higher-ups to get rid of Caden, who wanted out because he knew too much, was more than believable to the Washington police, and hence his referral to detectives in ISP. Demetrius's brother got rid of his car shortly after the Idaho 4 murders. Have no idea if Demetrius got rid of his big black SUV truck, probably did. Heard he is now in Tacoma rather than Boise. Oddly, Caden was the first to use Snapchat the morning of November 13th, 2022, and he did it at 5:30 a.m., remarking about the unalivings. How did he know so early? Is that what he knew too much about? Did Demetrius's phone him and tell him the news? And thus Demetrius had to unalive Caden? Heard also they actually used axes and hatches and no K-bar knives. All drug Ellers, I'll just say Ellers, at Sigma Chi knew there was going to be a hit at the girls that night. And Dylan, with her boyfriend, we'll just say that, was notorious drug dealer in Moscow. Obviously knew and was told by most probably to get Kaylee back that night. My feelings have always been that neither survivors were at the house that night. Bethany was with a small crowd who gathered in front of the house with the open door when first responders arrived, and was among those chanting, "Dead! Dead!" Unresponsive can mean dead. So those who get that all tied up in choice of wording are barking up the wrong tree. They meant not alive when they said unresponsive. I was like, there is so much in that. I don't even know what to think. So I decided to bring it to you and get your opinion of this. Now, I know I did a really bad job of reading it to you, and I might do it better if you want me to try again, but you got it too much info. That's your name, but that's what I feel. You say, are they conditioned to think that this is normal? What about people that go there from out of state and don't see anything wrong? I'm not sure if I missed part of the conversation. I just can't believe all these people in the state aren't saying anything. Oh, I got what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. You haven't had a Billy scream, Lee? Hold on, let me find Billy. Billy is our mascot. And we had Billy the goat long before we had Billy the prosecutor. So, anyway, let's hear it scream, you guys. This is for tension release. It can be a trigger warning, It's whatever you need it to be. But it goes with us, and it's loud, so if your boss is listening or you have headphones on, make sure and take them off. There you go, my lovely Luz. I don't know. Brian's ramblings believes it all is tied into Kara and Maddie's stepmom plea deals a week prior. Pendizzy says, Billy the goat! Oh, you're right, Jenny. It is all messed up and a lot of people involved, in my opinion, too. Where is Demetrius now? Also EB. I don't know, Taurus. I don't track them. I just thought that this was interesting because it brought up Caden, and it did happen just after the Idaho 4, and is there any truth to it? Did he really, how would this person even know if he was the first one to release a Snapchat about the unalivings? How would that person, that's typing this, how would they know that? I just find that strange. Because if you knew that, then I believe you would be of very good importance, But that does make me think, who did release that first Snapchat? Because we know it went around. I agree. I agree with this. Brian Rambling says no one has uttered a word in a year and a half. All right in front of us. I agree with you. And it could have been an example set to silence people. So I'm asking you guys. You are the jury on the Kohlberger case. It's been selected, and you got to show up for trial. Now, here's the deal. If you think that Brian Kohlberger is innocent at the end of the trial, that means only one thing, and one thing only, that the KILLER would still be out there. And now, you got to vote. You also have to worry about who is going to blame you for being that, trout that swims upstream, as they say. So how can they possibly get a fair trial in Moscow at all? No matter what. Tainted or not. How about intimidated? How about the danger that could lurk even in the county next to it? I mean, I think about what cases I'm going to cover, literally, by how close they are to my house. If they're in my own backyard, I've learned to keep my mouth quiet publicly if I don't have something to take and back up my accusation. Because if I'm wrong or right, it could put me in danger. I'm close enough that somebody could take action. I just find it so strange that a rookie would have been put in charge and then all the higher ups be like, attaboy, you got this, on a notorious case, and leave the rookie hanging. I find that very peculiar. That's almost as if they're like, well, we've done our deed. We got everybody back to focus over here on the courts, because we got it looking like it's our guy, and those that don't agree are still focused on that guy. And so there's nothing to see over here at the college. We can get this rolling, get our stuff all in a row, and we'll let Brett Payne put everything in his own words, be the one to find the evidence, and we'll let him and Billy Bob Thornton there handle that little situation. Yeah, what is everything? What did Maddie tell him? That ICU is going to be one of the statements I said, I believe, yesterday. I think it was, I don't know, my days blur together. But I said there's one statement in every single case that never leaves me. No matter how long it's been that I've been away from the case, it doesn't leave me. And, oh, I told him everything. Maddie, what did you tell Adam? Oh, I told him like everything. Yeah, that'll stick with us. It really will. That'll never leave me. I wonder how long we'll wonder. Will we ever know what Maddie told Adam? And was it the cartel? Or was it the press? Or was it a combo? All right, let's do a poll. Just right here. Give me a 1 if you think it was BK. All right, you're like, well, it could be BK. There's no hate in here. There's nothing wrong with your point of view. Okay? Your point of view, your POV, as I learned from Mr. Ifs, your POV, your point of view, is simply your opinion, just like I have one. And I respect it. We respect it. So think about it. Was it number 1, BK? Was it number 2, the Prats? I'm writing it down so when I go back, I don't get it mixed up. Was it number 3, the Rug Cartel? And was it number 4, Bad LE? Or number 5, just some random guy that nobody caught. Or girl. 1, BK. 2, the Brats. 3, the Rug Cartel. 4, Bad LE. And 5, some random person. 1, BK. 2, the Brats. 3, the Rug Cartel. 4, Bad LE. And 5, some random person. Right, only Adam can tell. You're right, I can see you. You're right. Oh my, y'all are all about 2s. 2 and 3, that's a combo. So you feel like okay. So I want to talk about this. Okay, you guys are saying 2 and 4. Let me look at this. Bad Ellie and Brats. 2 and 3, Bad Ellie, or no. 2 is Brats, 3 is the Rug Cartel. How come none of y'all think it's BK? Because the evidence ain't there. Oh, y'all, I'm going to tell you what. I have had to learn to become numb at the comment where somebody will come on and they literally have not even studied this case. And they'll throw in my comments and they'll say something that's absolutely just not even part of the case. They'll be like, well, how come they found Brian Kohlberger's underwear in Maddie's drawer? I have to limit myself to it. I have to be like, I finally did say to one of them, you know, if you're not going to do your own research, I can't help you. But here's the thing. A lot of people do say, and I think it's out of not doing any research, and they'll say, how do you explain all the evidence against BK? And I ask, what evidence? And they always say, because he had gloves on, and he was at his parents' house, and he was sorting out garbage at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like to myself, all right, so you're saying because somebody was sorting garbage out, which could have been somebody that's like, I can't believe you're killing our planet, not recycling, Mom. I'm going to get the garbage. Wear some gloves. That could happen literally. And is the most probable, likely reason that somebody is wearing gloves while sorting garbage. Okay. But also, if I'm just saying, if you guys are going to come on here and you're going to hit me up in the little comments, stick around and give me an answer when I say what evidence so I know what you're talking about. Because so far, there's not a lot. I mean, you can't prove to me that it's his car. I have no footage or I have nothing that tells me that was his car. I can't see the driver. There's no license plate. And that video, you guys, I'm sorry. I doubt a lot of that video. I doubt a lot of the Linda Lane videos. I believe they were altered to keep people busy as shit and distract them from really paying attention to what's about to happen. And I'm starting to wonder, honestly, what we need to be focusing on. What are they trying to keep us from seeing? The FBI isn't producing anything that I can see. They're kind of like, you guys wrote that PCA. We didn't tell you what to put in it. And we never said we were giving you nothing. You started this hot-headed match. You're the one that went and got this guy arrested. Okay, we're not seeing the FBI back up anything the state said. Or back up what Brett Payne is alleging. We don't even have an affidavit. So that's the other thing, you guys. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk have not made a statement publicly regarding this case. So when you hear Dylan said, that is not what Dylan said. That is what Brett Payne said. Dylan said. Completely different story. How do I explain this? Why did Dylan say this? No, she didn't. But Payne says she said it. But I want to see where Dylan uses the words clad in black. Quote unquote, clad in black. Never, ever, ever do I believe that. Lee McKenna said, destroyed most of the evidence is when I said, wow, big, big cover up here. I predicted this long before that house even was thought about being dropped. I told y'all that in the case where it's a cover up like that they will literally get rid of evidence like they did in the Stephen Aber case by giving away the bones of the victim allegedly and then claiming that the evidence of bones that they used in this case to testify with probably were just animal bones. You think I make crap up? Go study the Stephen Aber case. They gave the bones away. The biggest piece of evidence. Just as DNA was testing was developed that they could have pulled the evidence from those bones to say if it was the victim or not. Or if it was just bones the state had slipped into the case. You feel me? So if the case is all based on, well, we have proof this victim is dead, we have her bones, so you go to prison for the rest of your life, and then the state down the road is like, hey, these are probably just animal bones, so we gave them away. Yeah, I know, we didn't have permission to do that. Yeah, but we felt it would be healing for the family. Promise ya. Promise you. So when you see evidence drop like that and just go by the wayside, how much of a real case do they have? Because they aren't relying on the real evidence. It tells you when real evidence is gotten rid of, it's because they've replaced it. You feel me? 11/11, Dylan testified at the grand jury. Yeah, that could be. I didn't hear it. Did you hear it? Have you ever heard the testimony from the grand jury? Not that I know of. But thank you, Carolyn Miller. Hey, if I'm that dumb and there's grand jury out there where we can go listen to Dylan's testimony, please share it with me because I'm just part of the public, but not the public has never heard Dylan testify that I'm aware, to the best of my knowledge. Too much info says law enforcement has to be involved because the lack of participation. Press conferences are a joke. Law looks ridiculous in my opinion. Tracy says, I wonder how many places BT's touch DNA could be found in that courtroom. You guys, you're funny. Carolyn Miller, DM was slinging the dope for Hunter Johnson. That was his D house when he lived there, and it remained his D house when he moved out next door 50 feet away, in my opinion. See, I am with you. Too much info. I am with you 1,000%. And you say, I don't think Cartel would leave a witness. Nor do I. However, I also wonder, just like this person does, if the roommates were not home. Maddie threw Dylan's dope out because it was dirty, in my opinion. Well, we don't know. We just don't know. Nobody has ever come forward that I know of and told us what happened. But it's something I wanted to read to you. I found it interesting because it brought up Caden. I have wondered if that was accidental or if he did know too much. I mean, was this a domino? Y'all, did Caden know something? So I did do a video. I don't know if you have watched it though. I can't even remember what it's called. But the brats had turned their brat house into where they were using pill pressers and making their own tablets. There you go. That they could sell. And they were making big old bucks about it. So I could see something like that going on in this kind of a place. and then there be like some sort of thing. But I still, to me personally, I personally go back to the press. I really do every time. But maybe that's just me. Carolyn Miller says she had to have testified. How else can GJ stick the charge? Carolyn Miller, lovely, you do realize an indictment is just an accusation. It's just an accusation. An indictment is a big word for we're accusing you doing this. Now go have a bunch of hearings and see if you're going to make it to a trial. You know? So, I mean, if she did testify, I still don't know what was said. But the only thing the public has, and I'm going to leave it there because I'm not here to argue. I'm here to agree with your opinion, is your right to share, right? Sally Shepherdson says, I believe that Miss Funk was threatened by two-faced friend DM. Interesting. Right, Missy Frederick, yes. Pressing tablets. That has to do with doctor sort of thing, right? Okay. So in the story, and this was a legitimate factual story, this guy turned into like a whistleblower. So he taught, and this happened elsewhere, right? But he talked about how it was megabucks. I'm talking mega bucks. And what was happening is the brats were using a tablet pressure, all right, to make their own tablets. And these tablets, if you will, were being sold and to the sororities, the other brats, and so forth, and it became big money. And, of course, it got all busted. And I wonder if there was something like that going on with the brats. David Bird says SG posted that DM testified and the GJ didn't like her credibility. Okay, well, if you believe everything Steve G says, at this point, I don't. I just don't. I have respect for him as a father of a victim, but I feel he has fed a false narrative by implicating things that he has been told. Whether I believe he believed them, but I think he's got people whispering in his ear that are not credible, and I think he went out there believing that stuff, that they were stalking Kaylee and all this and everything, when no, it wasn't true at all. And so his credibility as a person remains intact. But I believe he has got, which is his right, and I honor it, he has got different glasses on than we do. He is the father of a victim. And if he believes that BK is the one, then he's going to perceive all information and make it fit his own belief, if you feel me. And so I believe, out of respect for him, even though, like I said, I have great respect for him, I'm not going to... I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. Taurus says, has SG been threatened to go along or lose more than kids? Just wondering. Missy Frederick says, yes, this was over rugs, and I don't believe anything SG has said. Interesting enough, look at his brother's background. Well, and you're not wrong on that. Jennifer Swain says, nobody knows what is said in the GJ proceeding, not even SG. Exactly, because like I said, I made a statement that none of us have heard that Dylan make a public statement. All right? None of us has heard that because there is nothing to hear. So all we have to go by is the PCA. Now, the PCA alleges that Brian was in the area at set times, including in the morning at a set time. Yet it also says in the same PCA that he did not come back until hours later, if you fully read the PCA. And those hours later are many. And that shows that he shows up late in the afternoon. at a grocery store in Moscow, where the shopping literally is better. May Lomax says, I've said from the beginning, it's rugs, 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 end of it. Need Some Z says, I'm wondering, and it would connect Ellie and the courts because they were making deals big time at Atom and E Proton. Oh, you guys, the codes we have to use to get past the sneaky algorithm. I Can See You says, that's why I love your channel. You are awesome. I think you guys are awesome. You know, I kind of wonder if we're all not all on the same page, but have a different scenario, but it's all like if there wasn't, okay, let me just say, let's just throw all the ingredients in and bake a big cow pie. How's that? Let's throw a little bit in of Rugs and Cartel. Let's throw a little bit in of the rats, right? Because if you take the FR, they're rats. Let's throw a little bit in of a lot of jealousy. Let's throw a little bit in of unmarked cop car or regular car, but out of uniform Ellie at the right timing over by Sigma Chi. Isn't that interesting? And roll it all into one big doobie. And just say this. Whatever went down with those kids, how the hell could it involve BK? Explain to me how the man got into the house, committed the crime, and got back out to his car. He could not have went through that front door, in my opinion, because the door ring cam looks like it points right at the front door sideways. Like anybody stepping out of the house, 1122, would be able to step out and wave, you know, at the 1112? Whatever house over there. So, no. So then what? Did he park up there? Are they saying where he did his three-point turn? Did he park back at the Queen Apartments then? And coming through the sliding glass door? All right, so let's say BK does all this. How'd he get back in his car? Even if he suited it up, plastic it up, where the hell is all this crap and the murder weapon and all this stuff if BK did it? And how'd he subdue 4 people? Well, actually controlled 6, if the story goes. Controlled 6 people in a house single-handedly with one knife, and none of them called 911? All because of what? He's not an incel. He's not stalking any of these people. He has no idea if they have a huge dog that's going to attack. He doesn't know if there's more people or less people in the house. He doesn't know if they have a gun. He doesn't know if they have if they have a whole. Hell, he doesn't know if every one of these girls are sleeping with the wrestling team. The wrestling team could be in there. Enter the room and be like, oh, I didn't know this was an OG, right? I just brought a knife. I didn't know there was going to be 10 wrestlers in here. Who the hell knew what he was getting into? But he got in and out really quick and managed to go downstairs and not miss a beat on that one step and get this all done and climb out that wherever he left from, run off to his car, leave nothing. Got back in his car, left nothing. Pulled off the biggest crime ever, and the only thing they find is that he had to pause for a minute, undo his buckle while everybody waited. Hold on, girls. Girls, wait. I've got to take my knife sheath off here. Hold on. Let me undo my belt buckle. No, I'm not going to RAP anybody. No. I just want to leave this right here, laying here. Okay. Let me get my belt back on. All right. Proceed. So, the only thing he did was leave a sheath that doesn't even have a murder weapon to it. There's no weapon assigned to this sheath. None at all. And that's what nails him, is his DNA is in the house on a sheath by the girls. That's what got him. But the lack of evidence doesn't matter. Adam and E. Proton says could have been coke he was buying from them. Could have been. Tour 16, is BK in on it? Is this an undercover agent kind of thing? Let's just throw that out there. Pablo's Karam says, if I'm involved anyhow, Google World's biggest exactly bust, how a Google search foiled Aussie tomato tins mafia drug plots. That should explain it all. I'm confused, but I will look into that. Aussie tomato tins. I don't know what that even means, lovely. Tracy, he could have shown up to a gunfight with a knife. Don't think so. I'm just saying. How would BK know that nobody in the house is armed? I'll tell you what, he come in my house, he wouldn't get more victims, especially if he started with me. There'd be none. I'll just leave it there. He sure the hell wouldn't make it past. If I was the fourth one he planned on, I would have caught him. He'd be gone. There would have been no questions asked. So I'm just saying. It doesn't work. And that's why I think everybody knows logically this does not work. And could that be why we have the state of illusion? Where we have a PCA that's basically worthless. No better than the paper it was written on at this point, in my humble opinion. Why is that PCA worthless to me? Because a PCA is only good if you can prove it to be true. If there is proof to back up that his car, it was Brian, he was driving it, he entered the home, he exited the home, something. There's no circumstantial evidence that's even going to remotely convince me to literally be like, yeah, I'm for the death penalty. Nope. It's got to be that you can put that guy in that house in some way. Room 22, welcome to 1111 True Crime. You said also expected to believe that he has left home, committed mass murder, and returned home with a major incident which was happening just outside his apartment with fire, police, paramedics. There at 11:40 till 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, he picks a one night that right in front of his house, there's major paramedics, police, fire, everybody right there. I don't know. Robin Davis Duxor says, shoot, I just got home to get in the chat. I guess I will be on replay crew again. Well, welcome back, lovely. I miss it when I don't see familiar faces. Hey, Karen, Texas. Scott Green is in every police discussion. Good point, Karen. And why? He has no understanding of being a professor or a legal expert of any kind. He has no knowledge of how to be a police officer that we know of. Yet he literally is paving the way with greenbacks, green dollar bills. And who's his boy? Who did Green buy, you guys? My money, in my humble opinion, is Green bought Payne and Billy. That's my humble opinion. Oh, Jennifer Swain, thank you, lovely. Thank you for that $50 snooper chat. That is so kind and generous of you. You continue to really amaze us. Thank you, lovely. Noel says, is that why the first judge didn't sign? Makes you wonder. Natalie Poole says, I find it odd that they chase him across the map, pulling him over, and his dad's hands the officer BK's license, in my opinion. Maybe that's how they got both the DNA then and didn't know whose DNA was whose. Could be. That's what I did my last couple videos on. Could be. Gemini 65, it's weird. He was always there. Green is. Mr. Green Jeans is in every corn patch. You feel me? Micromanaging. Too Much Info says they were there. They were texting each other. DM posted a pic at 3:33 a.m. of her and Kay. Also text at 3:30 a.m. to LK. 20 is a cooking utensil and a type of shoe that look like bands. Huh. Room 22, yes, hydrant was pumping out so much water that they thought it would compromise the hill. When was that? I Can See You says law enforcement accidentally killed the wrong guy, and they would need to have somebody else to take the blame, in my opinion. Ooh. If you know what she's saying or he's saying, I'm going to reread that. I Can See You says, law enforcement accidentally killed the wrong guy, and they would need to have somebody to take the blame, in my opinion. Too Much Info asked, did BK have a psychologic eval? How do they know if he's fit to stand trial? I don't think they have a plea of insanity in Idaho. I could be wrong. Juniper Rob. Why search a dad's trash if they got DNA off the license? Oh, Lord. I don't believe half the crap they say. Room 22. Also, electric box was hit, maybe taking out power in apartments. Possibly why BK's phone went off. I don't know anything about water flowing and electric boxes being hit. I've never heard any of that. Don't Die 509 is about to drop it like it's hot. Loach and Barachota. Barocha and Loach. You know what I'm talking about? Back when your kids are little, right? And they were on to the Nintendo. I'm dating myself, but Nintendo. And they had these fighter games that would come on, right? And these fighter games would have like this guy come bouncing on the side screen. And then this guy would bounce on the other side screen. And the little meme or whatever would be like, Baroja! Loach! Right? Versus boom, boom, boom. And I'm just saying, till somebody can prove me wrong, I see it. That's who I believe. Tracy is a good point. Why didn't they find DNA in BK's apartment? Right, Adam and Proton. Adam and E Proton says 1111, the wreck outside BK's apartment. Exactly. Cynthia Caldwell, 263 watching, only 33 likes. Come on, people. Heck, you know. It'll come along if it's supposed to. I just always assume that you guys are going to hit the like if you enjoyed it. Or even the dislike if you didn't. I mean, it's up to you guys, right? I'm just grateful for you all. WSU, hey! It says Brian Ramblings. I love you. You're too cute. I Can See You says, and what gets me in Brian's demeanor is if he is innocent, it's like he knows he plays cool. He owns that college. I think we have a big problem. I think you guys are overestimating this. I hope not. But I think intimidation of the jury is going to be a big factor that nobody talks about. I don't think it even has to be said. I think that they know that they've got to come home after jury. And they've got to live in that community. Even if it's right next door to a different county. They're going to be seen. Especially if it stays in Moscow or Latah County. I think they would worry. I mean, if you've got a town that's run the way this place is, would you want to be known as the one juror that didn't go along with everybody else and caused a hung jury? Oh, Lord. To me, the pressure is almost too big for a jury. I don't know what to do at this point. We had the smear campaign going on with the flying monkeys from the prosecution demonizing the suspect well before trial, with the house being demolished, and therefore there's no evidence that we can go back and claim if we need it at a later date. We have the FBI playing hide and seek, saying, hey, I told you about it. I didn't tell you were going to get the evidence. We got subpoenas being signed by the little bitty, bobblehead judge up there. I can't stand that. His flip attitude toward the justice system, his relaxed demeanor, is absolutely pathetic. And the innocence of these 4 people that lost their lives deserves respect. And the judge is representing the victims. And for him to sit up there and bobble his little head and overtalk females and overtalk the defense, but yet listen intently and even at times watching. While Ann's talking, the judge is checking out how the prosecution, there's like signals going on here between their eyes. Like, should I go ahead with plan B or A? Blink twice for A. Okay? That shouldn't be happening. And I feel, and that's an exaggeration. That's not really going on. I'm just saying, watch the behavior, the attitude that the judge has. How is he possibly representing Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, or Ethan? Because that's what the judge does, is they represent the unbiased victim in the case. How can you convict with no evidence? WSU Mom Kim says the people who were a part of this are certainly feeling emboldened, and that will catch up with them. But how many are harmed in the meantime? I don't know. Intimidation. Cynthia Caldwell says, it seems the judge is representing the prosecution, in my opinion. Paco July 27th says, he is the all-time worst judge. We all call him Springer. Y'all call him Jerry Springer? Judge Jerry Springer? Oh my golly. I have never heard that. That's actually made me giggle. I can see you. I would say pleading insanity is pleading guilty. Tracy with an I says, I wasn't complaining, just curious. I still don't think this case would continue to jury. It's just going to get worse for the prosecution, JJJ and Ellie. Every case tried before will be looked at again. Gemini 65 says, he's a horrible judge, in my humble opinion. Angel says, why won't the FBI hand over the cast? FBI took the sheets. FBI gave BK name. FBI wash their hands with the evidence side of it. BK is FBI implanted there for the case they already investigating, in my opinion. You're not alone, Angel. There are quite a few that are wondering if this is a psyops or if this is an FBI setup. Karen Texas says, how can the judge be unbiased when he decides what evidence the defense gets? Yeah. It does start and end with the FBI, Angel. I just would love it to know that one case that we work in my lifetime is actually being done proper, a proper investigation, a proper trial, a proper jury, a proper everything. Just show it to me. Room 22 says, FBI can't come to the phone. Yeah, I'm going to call the FBI. Meh, meh. It's busy. It's been busy for 50 years. That's my impression of Billy Boy trying to call. And just says maybe investigating ISP after the Dr. Drake and Dr. Moore case. Lord, think about it. We got Stickergate, we've got the Dr. Drake and the Moore case. These are all the same people, the same players now handling the Idaho 4 case. I mean, y'all, go look up the Dr. Moore case. You will not have any faith in this. Carolyn Miller says FBI took the false lead on this case. Bullish move and a rush to judgment, in my opinion. I don't know. So, you guys, tonight we're going to be. Let me get that thumbnail up. Hold on. I'm going to get the next thumbnail up. Let me get it out of your way. There you go. And then I'm going to read you something. Let's see. It is a Sebastian. We're going to be talking about little Sebastian Rogers. And it's being alleged all over YouTube streets that Chris Proudfoot is pranking calls on people. Hold on. Let me open this. This is bizarre. So I will not play this channel's info because I do not support them in any way. They're very negative, very, very negative group. Anyway, there are people alleging, well, and JLR thinks it too. There are those that are alleging, and Dollywood thinks that, Dolly is thinking that too, that Chris Proudfoot, and I listened to it. Now, I can't play it because I will not support that channel. But I listened to it, and it sounded like somebody doing Sling Blade impression, if you get my drift. Pretending they didn't have no access to the internet and all this weird, weird stuff. Trying to get them a t-shirt of that boy, and how come everybody's got their sights set on Katie and Chris? They ain't done nothing wrong. And yeah. But, see, this creator that happened to have this call-in has stated that she talks to Chris Proudfoot almost every day, if not every day, anyway. And so I think the whole thing was set up to punk those that are going to go play that channel stuff. Anyway, it beyond blows my mind if that is him. Because that's another identical thing of playing gags while your kid is missing that the Wells did. And I listened to it, you guys. And if it's not Chris Proudfoot, I'd be shocked. That's all I got to say. I'm not saying it's him. I'm just saying if it's not him, in my humble opinion, I'd be shocked. And I'm embarrassed for him. If it is him, I'd crawl under a damn rock. I find it. Yeah, don't say the name. Do not say the name. Nasty channel. I regretted I had to listen to it. If I could have removed my view from that, I would have. Oh, he admitted to it, alleges Karen, Texas. So we're going to be talking about that coming up tonight, and it is going to be a call-in show. If you would like to call in, we're going to wait till after 9 o'clock so our kids can go to bed and you guys get a chance to have a peaceful moment to share your thoughts with me. It'll be a call-in. And tomorrow I have something I feel very special. I painted a beautiful picture for Micah Miller. I've been listening to her case from the beginning. I just don't go public with it. I don't like covering cases that are self-deletion, as they say, because I did lose a very beautiful person in my life to self-deletion. I'll just say self-deletion because I'm on YouTube. And, but, I don't know. She came to me in my heart and I had to paint. And so I painted her a picture. It's of mountains, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys in the next, probably tomorrow. And it's just dedicated to her and her struggle and becoming more and more aware and empowering people, not just females. There are many male victims of DB from all sources, but empowering us to be survivors. And to be survivors, we have to pay close attention to learn to not be gullible. And so if she didn't do it herself, so it's weird. I got a message. I told you guys about it. I didn't think nothing of it. I got a message the other day, and it said, knock out one light, sleeping with the enemy. And I was like, what is that about? And my mind rolled, and I thought about it. I must leave that there. But I did paint her a picture. And I think it came out okay. I don't care how it came out. It's for her. It's from my heart. And I will be sharing that with you guys. I got to edit it and speed it up a little so that you don't have to watch the whole 2-hour video. I'll try to speed up my painting a little, like by speeding the video up. But, all right, my lovelies. I don't know, the prank calling thing's weird. We're going to be talking about that. That's disturbing on a whole new, on an entirely new level. Like, that to me, that's mentally ill in my humble opinion. Like, I'm not sure how much you guys agree with me, but I feel creeped the heck out listening to the Sling Blade impersonator. It freaked me out. I didn't think it was funny. It was creepy. Extremely creepy. But Adam is sentenced tomorrow, you guys. Adam Montgomery. Adam Montgomery is, thank you, Gemini65, for reminding me. I want you to all know I love you dearly. And yes, Summer Wells, bring her home. That is a dream that so many of us have. A prayer we put out to the universe. Bring Summer Moon Utah Wells home. Bring Harmony Montgomery home. Bring Orrin and Orson, which was Classic and Sincere, home. Bring Michael Vaughn home. There's so many little kids out there that I pray for and you pray for. All right. I love you guys. Keep up the good works. Why are you laughing with Summer Wells, Basil? Why is that funny? Why would you even think that was funny? You know what? I love you guys. I am not gonna love you guys to the moon and back. I'll see you in a little bit. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the Sebastian Rogers case. Tomorrow I will be bringing us into, it's more of us just sharing our feelings about Micah tomorrow, and I'm throwing the video up of me painting in the background. There might be times of pure silence or music. I don't know. I'm just going to let my heart express whatever comes across. But like I said, I painted, it took me 3 or 4 hours to paint because I took breaks in between, but it came out to be about a 2-hour video. So I'll speed it up for you guys. I love ya. To the moon and back. God bless you all.